Hi guys, this video is going over what your Delta Math assignment for today is going to be asking you to do. So I went through a ton of examples and it looks like all of them have one function that's quadratic and another function that's linear. So I think that's all the types that you're going to have. So with these, we're basically going to be building a new function using a composition. So you should only have to do 5 if you get them all right, because this is going to be a lot of multiplying out and combining like terms. And so go slowly, because the more you have to do for a problem, the easier it's going to be to make a simple mistake. All right, so first, we're going to do f of g of x. And so remember, with compositions, we work from the inside out. So we're basically going to be putting g of x into the f of x function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my f of x function, but I'm going to leave a space where the x's are, because I'm going to be replacing the x's that are in the f of x rule with the rule for g of x. So that was 2x squared plus 3 times x minus 5. So it's the exact same rule, only instead of x, I have an open space for what I am going to be putting into that spot. And so g of x is 3x plus 2. So that's what I'm going to be putting in those open parentheses. So you can see all I've done is replace the x from the f of x function. I took out the x's and I replaced it with 3x plus 2. I put g of x into f of x. All right, now here's the part where you're going to make your mistakes. We have to actually work it out. So multiplication comes before any distribute or addition or subtraction. So the first thing that I have to do is take care of this 3x plus 2 squared. So 3x plus 2 squared means 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. You can set up a box for this. I'm going to use FOIL just because it's faster. So FOIL, you do 3x times 3x, you do the first ones, so that would be 9x squared. Then we do the ones on the outside. So 3x times 2 is 6x. Then we do the inside. 2 times 3x is 6x. And then the last 2 times 2 is 4. So we multiplied the first two, the outsides, the insides, and the last. But again, you could set up a box, a 2 by 2 box, and do 3x plus 2 on both sides, and you get the same thing. So let's combine that. 6x and 6x is 12x. All right, so now we still got to look at what the other stuff is for this problem. So there was a 2 in front of that. So technically, all of that needs to get multiplied by 2. All right, I'm going to simplify the rest of it just because I'm going to run out of space. So I have this distribute here. I have that 3 that's in front of the next group. So 3 times 3x is a positive 9x. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm going to bring down this minus 5. All right, so I multiplied. I distributed because I could. There was nothing stopping me from doing that. But now I have to distribute that 2 that was in front. So it's important that you remember to do the squared part before you multiply what's on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute this to everything. So I'm going to have to distribute that 2 to the whole thing. So multiply everything by 2. And then I'm just going to bring all this down. I just brought the rest of that down. All right, combine like terms. 18x squared does not have any like terms. But I have 24x and 9x that I need to go ahead and combine. So I'm just going to write the 18x squared because that had no like terms. That should be 33x. And then I have 8 plus 6 minus 5. Combine all that. So 8 plus 6 is 4. I'm actually going to do 6 minus 5 is 1. So 8 plus 1 is 9. All right, so that's how you have to leave it. And I'm going to apologize. I don't remember what they want you to use here, but I'll go back tonight before I post this video. I'll look and see what they want you to put here, because I know sometimes it marks it wrong if it wants f of x and you put y. So I'll post in the instructions what you're supposed to put here. All right. Now using the same, and I'm just going to use the different notation. If we do it the other way, then this would mean that we want to put f of x into the g of x rule. So I'm going to write the rules down here so I don't have to keep sliding back up. So f of x was 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. G of x was 3x plus 2. So now I'm going to be taking f of x and putting it into g of x. So I'm going to write my g of x equation, but I'm going to leave space because wherever I had x, I'm going to be plugging in the f of x rule. All right, so this is going to be a lot easier to work out because I don't have to square anything. I can just go ahead and distribute. So multiply everything by 3. Drop down that plus 2. And so now this is the only thing I can combine. Those are my only like terms. So negative 15 plus 2 is negative 13. So there's my new equation. All right, so let's do another one. All right, so again, if I want to do f of g of x, then I'm putting g of x inside of the f function. So I'm going to rewrite the f rule, but everywhere I see an x, I'm going to leave a space because I'm putting something inside of the f of x rule. I'm putting g of x inside the f of x rule. So I took all my x's and I left a space because inside, wherever I had an x, I'm putting the g of x rule. All right, so again, we have to take care of the squaring first. So you can FOIL, you can make a 2x2 box. So when I combine those, I get that. Now this had a negative out front, so that counts as something that needs to be distributed after you multiply. All right, I'm also going to go ahead and distribute that. So -3 times 4x, -3 times -5, and I'm going to bring down that +2. All right, so now I'm going to distribute this negative sign. I'm just going to drop all that down because I have nothing left to multiply. And now I just need to look for and combine all of my like terms. So -16x squared doesn't have any like terms. 40x minus 12x. What is that, 28? Positive 28. I don't have a calculator on me and it's really late at night, so you're allowed to call me out later if I didn't do my mental math correctly. And then combine those. I have -25 plus 15 should bring me to -10. -10 plus 2 should combine to -8. All right, so there's my new equation. If they want you to go the other way, they want you to find g of f of x. So that means putting f of x into the g function. So I'm going to take the g function, and wherever I had x, I'm putting the f of x rule into the x of the g rule. All right, and so this should be pretty easy to work out because for this, all I have to do is distribute. So distribute that -4 to everything in there. Drop down that -5, and then that's the only like terms I have. So combine like terms. All right, so like I said, go slow. But remember, when you are putting the linear one into the quadratic, make sure you do take care of that exponent first. And keep in mind, notice I did not just square the 4x and square the -5. That has to get multiplied by itself, which means you're either doing FOIL or you're making a 2x2 box and multiplying it out like that. You're literally going to make a square. You're squaring it. All right, second, if there was anything in front of that x squared and anything over here, you can distribute. And then last, combine like terms. All right, and go slow. And remember that Delta Math also has videos, and like I said, I only set this up to do 5 problems. So if you go slow and you don't make any simple mistakes with negatives and multiplying, then you should only have to do 5 problems.